everyone, welcome to Hey Women Air. I hope that you all are doing well. We are back with our second episode of Hey Women Air with Carolyn Brand. We will be talking about career change. So yeah, let's get started. Hello Carolyn, welcome to Hey Women Air. How are you doing today?
Oh, I'm great, thank you. And how are you, Nidia?
I am great, thank you.
Yeah, it's wonderful to be here today. And firstly, I'd like to thank you very much for inviting me. It's a real privilege and honor to be able to be here today. And I think it's a great thing that you're doing. It's really important that women, that we support other women, we inspire other women, we empower other women, and we share our experiences, the good and the bad parts. I recently, just the other day, I read a quote, I'd never seen it before, and I really love it. It says, "A strong woman stands up for herself, and an even stronger woman stands up for others."
Yeah, that's great. And that's true.
It definitely is.
Yeah. So it's a pleasure to have you on Hey Women Air. So just to introduce you, Carolyn is an innovative, future-oriented professional. She has a global experience in B2B portfolio management, and her superpower is being an all-rounder. So yeah, Carolyn, tell me something about yourself and about your journey so far.
Wow, thank you for the introduction. It sounded so great. I didn't recognize myself. So, who am I? Well, firstly, something a little bit personal about me. I'm a mother. I'm a proud mother of 2 children. I'm married, and I have a lot of experience in work-life balance, managing a career and being a mother and a family, and also doing things for myself as well. So I have a lot of experience in that. My career, a little bit about my career. What can I say? Actually, I call my career a portfolio career because I've worked in quite a few different industries and I've worked in quite a few different functions. And that's why I call myself a professional generalist, an all-rounder. And I call my different skills and knowledge my professional toolbox. And it spans from, sales, marketing, supply chain, project management, service operations, production, strategy, future programs, future projects. So I really have a diverse knowledge across the overall business life cycle. And I find that really helps me because I can think out of the box. Whether I'm working by myself or whether I'm working with other people, I can connect the dots, think of the bigger picture, and also I can deep dive into different work streams and value streams to identify potential solutions. And so, I'm quite proud of my professional toolbox.
That's great. So you have worked in different domains, different countries, with changed roles and function. So did you plan to do this? And do you believe that there is a benefit of doing this?
Yeah, that's a great question. I have to be honest with you. At the beginning, it wasn't my plan. In fact, I'm not sure I had a plan when I was younger and I was starting out on my career. I very much approached my career when there was a new opportunity, something presented itself and it was interesting and exciting and I could grow and I could challenge myself. I went for it. And I did that for a number of years and I ended up working in different countries and in different roles in different industries. And then one day I suddenly realized, actually, this is quite good. I like this and I'm going to continue on this path. I like being diverse. I like having these different skills and this different knowledge. And I realized there was a benefit and people would look at my CV and listen to what I could do. And they would say to me, wow, that's really extensive for somebody who's quite young. You've done so many different things. So I would look at specialists and experts and on the other side of the table, and I would say, wow, they're so knowledgeable in their area, but they were very much knowledgeable in that one field where I had a little bit of knowledge overall. And that helped me work with the experts and the specialists. And it helped me to deep dive with them into the different areas with a different perspective. Also, when I wanted to move into different industries, it meant I had transversable skills that even though, say, I wanted to go from sales marketing into a technical environment, I could actually transfer the skills that I'd had in my previous industries and show how they could be effective in a different industry. So I have all these transferable skills. And you know what? It's great fun to learn different things and to do different things and to have this wide span of skills and knowledge that you can draw on. Now, what I'm not saying to all you experts and specialists out there that it's the only way to do it. I just found it worked for me. Now, even if you are a specialist, if you're a lawyer or an engineer or a dentist or a doctor or whatever you are in your career, you can still have diversity and broaden your skills and knowledge, because you never know when it's going to help you in the role that you're doing, or a new role, or even one day you might want to change to a different role. And it's so much fun learning and experiencing new things.
That's great. So you have successfully sailed through such challenges. So how would you advise women to approach their career development?
That's a very good question. I think I have a few tips and a few pieces of advice. The first one, though, I think it's to every woman out there, myself included, is fight your inner glass ceiling. Now, what I mean by the inner glass ceiling, with women, we suffer from imposter syndrome, and even the successful, confident women, we sometimes it just comes upon us and we don't even realize that we are suffering from that, and it can come and go, or you can always suffer from it. And we have this inner glass ceiling that stops us growing and stops us moving on. And I think you need to manage your inner glass ceiling. You need to manage the imposter syndrome. You need to learn to be comfortable about yourself, true to yourself, and believe in yourself and empower yourself, because we are the only people holding you back is you yourself. So for career development, that's the mindset you need to have. You need to believe in yourself, and you need to want to grow and believe that you are able to grow.
Yeah.
The other thing is some more, tangible advice is wherever you are in your career, I suggest having some type of plan. Now, I call that a personal development plan. You can call it whatever you want. And it doesn't matter whether you start it when you're studying, or you start it when you're 40, or you start it even when you're 50. It's never too late to start having a plan and identifying things you can do, you want to do, and where you want to go. And now this doesn't need to be anything super duper professional. You can start it on a scrap of paper. I think the first way to approach this is to start asking yourself some questions. What would make me happy? What do I enjoy doing? What are my passions? What are my values? Where would I like to be? Where can I see myself going? What would make me really happy? What would make me jump out of bed in the morning and I can't wait to go to work? When I'm a grandmother or even a mother, what would make me really proud to say to my children, or to hear my children or my grandchildren saying, hey, my grandmother was this, hey, my grandmother did that. And, what would make me live my professional life to the full? Now, once you've got all those down, that looks really good, and they're all wishes and aims and goals. So you need to do something tangible to be able to kind of look on how you can achieve that. Break it down into different chunks. So where you want to be that will make you happy in 10 years' time, you could break that down and say, what can I do every 6 months, 3 months, 9 months, 1 year to actually move forward to that? And then when you've looked at that, start looking at the different roles that are out there that would actually fulfill your passion and underpin your values and make you happy. And you can do that internally, you can do that externally, you can do that across the different industries. And I think it's really important that you keep yourself informed on what's happening within other industries and within different markets. And we have excellent tools and social media where we can do that. LinkedIn is, fantastic for that. Follow different companies, follow different people, read different posts, and you'll see every day there's new companies, there's new roles. Now, when you've identified some of those roles, some of those companies, look at your skill set, look at your knowledge, and say, what are my gaps? What do I need to do to actually be able to apply for those roles? And then start thinking of ways to close those gaps and learn those skills. Now, this doesn't necessarily mean you need to change into another role. You can actually learn skills in your own free time. There's lots of podcasts and online learning you can do, and some of them are free. And you can do it in your role. And my advice on the various ways to do this is start looking at your yearly objectives. And when you sit down with your boss, come up with ideas, initiatives, and improvement projects that you can work on that challenge you, but also demonstrate to your boss and other people in the company that you want to develop, you can develop, and you're willing to go that extra mile. Now, I've got an example on how that worked for me. A number of years ago, I was sat down with my boss and I'd identified a job I wanted to do. And I said, I wanted to be a customer-facing project executive. My boss looked at me and said, no way, you'll never be able to do that. You don't have the skills and knowledge. You'll never get that job. That made me even more determined to go and find a way to get that job. So I looked at the job, I looked at the people doing it, and I identified, so what can they do and what do they have that I don't have? And I came up with a list of skills and knowledge and gaps. And I thought to myself, how can I close those? So I started to bring some of those items into my daily job. And I started to come up with some initiatives. And actually, by accident, I came up with this great initiative that turned into a global project where it actually closed all my gaps, gave me customer-facing experience. It took me 2-3 years, but in the end, bingo, I delivered the project, I got loads of visibility, and I got the next project executive role that came up. And it was an amazing feeling. It was a sense of satisfaction. So that's how to do it. Now, yes, that took me 2-3 years because it really was a big step that I wanted to take. But you can chunk it down into smaller steps. But don't hold yourself back. Believe in yourself and talk to other people. Go and build your network internally with role models, with mentors, with peers, and ask them, what do they think? What do they know about? Improve your brand, your professional brand. How do people see you? Do people see you as somebody who wants to be developed? Do people see you as somebody who wants to grow and wants to do more? Because if you don't tell people and show people, then the opportunities may not be presented. So it really is up to you, up to a certain point, to take the accountability and start that development yourself.
Yeah, I agree, and that's incredible. You have an inspiring journey, I must say that.
Thank you.
But very often women feel undervalued in their role or in a company they are working in. They become reluctant to search for different avenues, and which somehow hinders their development. So what advice would you like to give to such women to empower themselves to make a change?
Okay, this is a really interesting question because I think sometimes you need to sit down and look at yourself and say, why am I undervalued? Am I actually being undervalued by others, or am I undervaluing myself? Again, it comes down to our inner ceiling and our imposter syndrome. Sit down and ask yourself some hard questions. It may feel uncomfortable, but I think it can really help you to identify, are you undervaluing yourself? So when you accomplish something or when you are successful, do you sit there quietly or do you share it? Now, no, what I'm not saying is you don't have to go and stand on a stage and tell everybody, hey, look at me. Aren't I fantastic? Aren't I great? Us women, we're not comfortable in doing that. Men are very comfortable in doing it. And I actually, it's great that they can do it. Sometimes I wish I could be more like that, but I can't. We're a little bit more humble. Being humble is good, but being too humble can hold us back. So ask yourself, am I undervaluing myself? And if you believe you're not, and you actually are doing a good job, ask yourself, okay, am I telling people about my accomplishments? Am I telling people about my successes? Am I promoting myself? What's my personal brand? Do people know that I can and want to develop? Have I got an agreement with my boss that he knows or she knows, hey, it can be a she, I shouldn't use the he, that I want to be developed and I want to move forward? And then think about, as I said, your personal branding, your professional branding. That's really important. And one thing I will suggest is look at how people perceive you. And if you're not sure on how to do that, find a few peers that you trust and say to them, honestly, how do you see me professionally? How do I portray myself? And listen to their feedback, because people, even men, you'll be surprised on how many people do want to help other people professionally. It gives you a sense of satisfaction. So do ask those questions. I learned some advice about 10 years ago, and I took it on board. I was told by a female leader, don't act and dress for the job you're doing. Act and dress for the job that you want to be doing in the future. And you'll be seen and people will know that you could go there. So the other thing I would suggest from personal development and career development is your network. Internally, external. Don't just do your external network when you want to go and move outside of a company, because you could miss out on some great opportunities and learning different things. Because even though you might not be looking for a new job could come up that would be fantastic and you could go for it. So don't just use your external network when you need to look for a job, but really make sure that you have a good internal network, peers, mentors, roles. Keep yourself informed of what's going on. Keep yourself informed of new initiatives and your external network. And as I said before, read and see about what's happening in the different industries. And again, I go back to your professional development plan, your career development, your goals and actions, they're your accountability. And only you can start doing the right things to put yourself in the position to move forward. And after all that, if you really think you're doing everything and you are undervalued by that company or by that particular boss, move on. You deserve more. And just go for it.
Yeah, I totally agree. And networking is very crucial for development of oneself. So yeah. So Carolyn, do you think that it is ever too late for a woman to change paths in a career?
No, definitely not. It's never too late and it's never too early. I know they do say, and I'm not sure if that is still correct, but you should go into a job and not change before 2 years. You should actually then fulfill something. To an extent, I think that's quite true. I think if you leave within a year, people will say, why have you only done it for a year? But between 1, 2, 3 years, I think that's okay. And on the other side, if you stay in a job for too long, people will say, well, why have you done that job for 10 years and you've never changed? But no, changing career paths, I don't think it's ever too late. And in fact, I've just done this myself and I'm 50 plus. So last year I decided I want to change the direction. Um, you need to be brave. Yes, I'm going to be totally honest. But don't hold back. If you're somewhere that's not fulfilling you and not giving you your job satisfaction, go for it. You've got nothing to lose and everything to gain. It's all about risk. If you take no risks, you won't gain. If you take risks, you'll gain. And you'll learn something from taking those risks. And you know what? Don't take a mistake or a failure as something negative. Take it as something positive, because you can learn from those mistakes. It's part of growing and it's part of expanding. And you know what? A few people, actually, my father said to me, why are you leaving your job at your age? And why do you want to change your career at your age? You're unhappy. You should sit there and for the next 17 years, just wait for your retirement. That made me want to cry, to think I needed to stay somewhere where I was unhappy because it was safer. And I just went for it. And yes, I'm on a growth, I'm on a personal journey. And yes, some days it can be a little bit challenging, but it's great. It's so much fun. I haven't found a new role yet, but you know what? Where people say being in a large corporate organization for 21 years and my age and such a diverse experience, are other companies going to want to employ me? And you know what? I've already had 2 offers and I didn't take them because I didn't think they would make me happy. And I'm waiting for the company and the role to make me happy. So no, it's never too late and you should just go for it.
Yeah. But if I talk about the current scenario, like this COVID pandemic have forced many companies to reduce cost, and people are losing their jobs, and some are not even sure about if their job will exist or not. So, how are you managing in this situation? Do you have any regrets for just resigning from your job?
Do I have regrets? No, I don't have any regrets whatsoever. Now, let me put that into perspective. You know, I loved the company where I worked for 21 years. It was a global a fantastic company. I had some great colleagues. I learned a lot. It just wasn't making me happy anymore. And yes, when I decided to take that leap and leave the company, COVID-19 wasn't in my plans. So something I had set up suddenly disappeared. But I have to be versatile. I have to diverse. I've changed my plans. As I said before, I'm on a personal journey. I'm growing, and COVID-19 is actually making me grow a little bit more than I thought. It's making me become more resilient. Now, how do I manage this? Do I have concerns? Yes. I think everybody has concerns, even if you feel that you're not at risk, because we don't know what's going to happen. Is there going to be a second wave? How are we going to come out of the economic slump and the recession? It is daunting, but how I manage it is I stay positive, I have my plan, I stay productive, and I approach every week, every day, every month as if I was working. I have my milestones, I have my aims, I have my daily plan, and I aim to achieve it. And you know, and if something happens where I don't achieve it, I don't take it as a failure. But the other thing I'm doing is I'm learning new skills. I'm upskilling. I'm networking. I'm talking to people I'd never met before, entrepreneurs, ecopreneurs. I'm taking part in academies. I'm doing online learning. So I'm not just sitting here and applying for jobs. I'm actually preparing myself and making myself even more employable. So yes, at the moment, when you see new jobs, then instead of 50 applicants, there may be 200 applicants. But that's where we are. But if you can make yourself employable, then you'll move forward. You will be able to do it. And again, as I said before, believe in yourself, be positive, and approach every day with a positive attitude and a good mindset, and you'll do it. And think out of the box. If you've always been an engineer and there's not many engineer jobs, look at what the skills you've got and see, could you do something else with those skills? Where could they go to? And ask people's advice and build your network. It's all about your network and talking to people and learning from people.
That's true. Yeah. So just to conclude, what would be your top tips for all the women?
Well, I'm going to risk repeating myself. So I've got a few top tips. The first one, again, can't say it enough, imposter syndrome. Manage your imposter syndrome. Manage your inner critic. Believe in yourself. When you walk into that room and there are 20 men there and you are the only woman in that room, do not think to yourself, oh my God, I'm the only woman. Why am I the only woman? Where's all the other women? Wrong mindset. Walk into that room and own that room. You are there for a reason. You are there because you can be there, because you deserve to be there. And if those guys don't listen to you, you know what? You start to make them listen to you in a professional way. But that's my top tip to you. Another thing is, and I got told this by an ex-boss, and he was a male boss, and I think it was one of my best bosses, actually. It was great working for him. And he sat down with me one year and said to me, Carolyn, why do you focus on your weaknesses? Why do you keep developing your weaknesses? And I said, because I've always been told to do that. He said, no, acknowledge your weaknesses, manage your weaknesses, but unless they stop you doing your job, just put them to the side. How you create your unique selling point and how you make yourself even better is you focus your energy on your strengths. Keep improving your strengths. It's like being a musician. If you're a really good pianist, but you're not a very good singer, recognize you're not a very good singer, get somebody else to sing, and you focus on practicing the piano every day until you become the top of your game. And that's how he explained it to me. And it completely opened a new world to me. So since then, I've been focusing all my energies on my strengths. I recognize my weaknesses. If it's a technical gap, I try and close that with other people, or I'll learn it. But if it's not important, just leave it and let it go. So those are my top tips to the women out there.
Thank you. Thank you, Carolyn, for opening and sharing your experience with us. It was really great.
No, thank you, Nydia, and my Womener. It was my pleasure to be here, and I'm really honoured, as I said, to be part of this and to be able to share my experiences. I think this is a great initiative. Congratulations to you for starting this up. As I said before, it's women helping other women, inspiring other women. It's wonderful, and you've put together this platform. And you will be bringing together women from all around the world, all different skills, all different experiences, and we can work together to help each other and empower each other. And this, My Womener, is going to be a great success. And I look forward to watching how successful it's going to be. And I look forward to supporting you on the journey. So congratulations to you. And thank you for asking me to join and be part of your early journey.
Thank you so much. It was really, really great that you took out some time and joined me in this conversation. Thank you.
Thank you.
That everyone found something useful listening to Carol's experience. And if anyone would like to reach out to Carolyn or on Hey Womenaire, then to discuss any item from today's topic, then you can contact us via LinkedIn, Instagram, or on Twitter. The links are mentioned in the description. And Hey Womenaire will be doing more such episodes with experts and professional women. And we will be covering a wide range of topic. And if you have any requests, then please do tell us by adding comments in the comment section, and you can always DM us. And yes, Hey Womenaire will be launching its website very soon with some exciting new features. So yeah, till then, stay safe and stay home. Thank you.